Hello and welcome to part 39 of this video series. In this video, we will learn about delegate usage. In the last video, we have started our discussion on delegate usage and we have created a simple program where we have used the delegate. In this video, we will continue our discussion from there and we will create some more examples and see how delegates can help us in different kind of scenarios. So let's open up the Visual Studio and start the demo. I have opened up my Visual Studio and now let's try to create an application that will take an input from user and print that message on console. To print the message on console, let's create a class. So I have created a class message handler. This will have two methods. First, that will accept a string from the user, and second one that will print that message on the console. So let's create these two methods. Okay, so I have created my class message handler and that has two methods, send string and print to console. Print to console is doing nothing but printing the message on the console window, and send string is actually invoking the print to console method. Now let's use console.writeLine and get the input from the user. Let's first give a prompt to user to provide the message. Let's say please provide your message. After that, create a string variable message and use console.readLine to accept the string from user. Once we have the string, let's use our message handler class and invoke send string. Now let's run the program and see if it is working as expected. If you notice, it is giving me the message, please provide your message. Let me enter my message here, hello world. And if you notice, it has printed that message on the console. So our program is working as expected. We are able to print the message on console. But now let's say we have a requirement. Maybe we don't want to print the message on console, but we want to print that message on a file. Or maybe we want to send an email to the user once we receive the message, or maybe we want to do something else with that message. To achieve that, we cannot keep on adding print to console method in our message handler class. What we can do, we can create a delegate and pass down that delegate to message handler class, and once that delegate is passed to the send string method, then the send string method can easily invoke whatever delegate is passed to it. So now let's create a method that will actually print the message on file and one method that will print the message on the console window. I have added the method write to file. Let's provide an input parameter to it, that is string. And now let's try to print this string on a file. To print a message on a file, we need to use file stream class. File stream class is available in system.io namespace. So now let's create a variable of file stream and create an object. And within this constructor, we have to pass down three parameters. First one, the file name which we want to create. Let me call it message.txt. Second parameter will be once the file is created, in which mode we want to create the file. Let's say we want to use file.append. So what append will do, it will append the message at the end of the file. And at the end, we have to specify the access with which we want to open this file in our program. Because we want to write a line on the file, that's why we have to use file access.write here. Once we have our file stream, we need to use stream writer to actually go ahead and write on this message.txt file. Now we have our file stream and stream writer ready. Now let's understand how we can write the message on the file. First, we have to use stream writer and invoke the write line method and pass down the string which we want to print on the file. Once that is done, we can flush down our stream writer to tell the program now we are done writing on the file. So we can close the stream writer. Once it is flushed, we can invoke streamwriter.close to finally close the stream writer, and at the end we can use fs.close to close the file. We have returned the message using stream writer. Then we have flushed down the stream writer to release any pending resources, and once that is done we have closed the stream writer, and finally we have closed the file in which we have written the message. Okay, now let's create a method that will print the message on console window. That will be very simple. Public static void. Okay, I have added this method write to screen. This will actually go ahead and print the message on console. And guys, if you notice here, the signature of write to file and write to screen is similar. Both are expecting a string type parameter and both are having the return type as void. So now what we can do, we can create a delegate and pass down that delegate to send string method, and the send string method will actually invoke the method write to screen or write to file depending on the user requirement. Okay, so let's create a delegate, and we have already seen how to create delegate in our previous videos. Public, we have to use the delegate keyword. Let's make it void because our methods are returning void, and let's name it print string and specify the parameter string s. Okay, now we have our delegate ready. Now what we need to do, we need to add this delegate as a parameter in our send string method. Let's do it. Okay, so I have taken the delegate print string, and now let's just use this delegate and invoke the method which is coming to this method. We can use our delegate and pass down the message, and we can just remove this method from here because we don't need this method now. Now we have only one method in our message handler, that is send string, and depending on the delegate it will invoke the method. Currently we are not asking the user where they want to print the message, whether they want to print the message on a file or they want to print the message on the console window. So let's write that code to ask the user where they want to print the message. To ask the user, I have added these two lines. First, I am asking the user where you want to send the message, and I am giving the user two options, one for file and two for console. Let's store the user's input in a variable. Okay, so I am storing the user's input in my input variable. And now we are ready to create the reference variable for our delegate and pass it down to our send string method. Print string ps equal to null. For now, let's initialize it to null. And if the input that is coming from the user is equal to 1, then in the delegate, what we can do, we can initialize the delegate with our write to file method, because user has chosen 1 and 1 belongs to file. That's why we have initialized the delegate with write to file method. If the user is not providing input as 1, then what we can do, we can simply initialize the delegate with our console method. Okay, I have changed the method here to write to screen. And finally, I can pass down this delegate to my send string ps comma message. Let's run this program. you can see it is asking me to provide a message. Let me provide hello Shisha. Once I have provided the message, it is asking where I want to print this message. I want to print it on a file or I want to print it on a console window. Let's for now choose the option 2 and hit on enter. You will see it has printed our message on the console and saying your message is hello C sharp. Okay. Now let's run the application again and provide some message again. Hello world. And this time let's choose the first option, file option. So as per our code, it should go ahead and print this message on a file. Okay, the program is completed. So let's check if it has created the file or not. For that, open the solution window here and right click on it and choose open folder in file explorer. Once you are in this folder, you have to choose the bin folder and within bin open the debug folder and then open the .NET 6.0. This folder might have different name depending on the version of .NET that you are using. Open this folder and within this you will find the message.txt file. If you remember in our code, we have provided message.txt as the file name that we want to use in the file stream object. Let's open up this file and you will notice it has our message hello world as expected. And guys, this is how you can use delegates to invoke the methods depending on the user's requirement. Benefit of using this approach is we don't have to modify our message handler class if we want to use some different kind of methods. This way, we will make our message handler class decoupled from the actual implementation of how we are sending the message or how we are printing that message to a file or we are sending it over an email. This way, our code will become more flexible and more dynamic in nature. And that's it for this video guys. In the next video, we will continue our discussion and try to create one more example where we will use delegates to implement callbacks.